So I'm sharing with you guys my Battletech project for 2021. My project, this idea, if you haven't seen part one and part two, I've pushed that up to the playlist on my channel. It started with this. Bought a new TV, got this amazing piece of cardboard here, I'm trying to pull out. And I thought to myself, we got to do something with this. We got to do something. This is an awesome skirmish board. I mean, it's thick and dense like plywood, but it's really, really light. I mean, this is like the kryptonite of cardboard that was blocked against the front of a flat screen TV. And I'm like, I'm going to make a skirmish board on this for Battletech. Well, we've got to fill it up with some terrain. And you know how these things go. You start with a project, it starts germinating, it starts gestating. And I think let's do a Battletech experience in a box. Let's do something that I'm going to bring 2 or 3 times a week out playing and really kind of bring Battletech to that hobby, bring Battletech to that community. And that was one of my goals for 2021, to get out there and meet new Battletech players. So I'm like in the Fritz cave here, hobbying up, and then we're just going to unleash this madness. So we're going to make a terrain board. Let's do city fight. Let's do city tech. Let's pack this in with tons and tons of buildings. And that led to this Hex Frontier terrain from Death Ray Designs. I'm going to put the link in the info box. This is a new system, a new set of terrains specifically that they've created. Can we say Battletech? I don't want to get them in trouble. For big robot, unseen, reseen mechs. Ready to go, everything matching, ready to build. So we're going to fill this with this. But this leads to bases. I was looking for some bases, and I wanted to kind of share a couple of ideas with basing for your mech and some of the different options. And again, trying to tie everything in. When I was looking at the terrain, I was really pleased to see that they also offer acrylic Battletech bases. Now, when you buy your mechs, trying to see if I have one around here. Of course, it's packed away. The new starter sets, the Catalyst starter set mechs, they have the bases integrated. They're ready to go. And it's absolutely fantastic. If you purchase other mechs, you're going to have to look into a basing system. And the hex bases are important for Battletech because they're needed for facing and movement when you spend a movement point, turning right and left, and it works with ranges. It's an important piece. That's not to say you can't play the mech just moving it around on the hexes, but bases are important. Also for wargaming, just so when someone bumps into the table, they don't fall down. A lot of us will use bases that are the old metal bases or plastic bases that have a lip on them, kind of a raised area. And I wanted to get something completely flat. I wanted to get something flat because, again, I'm going to be modeling my new mechs in this Hex City Death Ray design type aspect. I wanted to have a flat base that I could model in like some hazard stripes, some city stuff, some grates, something flat to build on. And I wanted to be mindful, if I'm going to be building it up, starting flat, the weight of the pieces. So acrylic worked really, really well. And they come in packs of 20. I've got 100 here. 20, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 100. Fritz, 100 bases. Well, when you buy bases for your mechs, I'm just going to be straight up honest with you guys. You start out, you're like, I've got my 20 mechs, I'm good. You need to buy twice the amount of bases because your collection is going to expand. It's going to be late at night, you get a great idea, or you see your friend playing that Crusader and you're like, I need a Crusader now. I guarantee you, wherever you are in Battletech right now, your collection, it's going to grow. So if you start out with 20 bases and you're like, I'm good, I've got my 20 mechs, I can do 2 lances, 2.5, 3 lances, variety, you want to pick up double the amount so you're ready to go. Maybe even triple the amount. That's good. That's going to last expansion for a long time. And that was my intention. I want to have 3 or 4 lances ready to go that I can play, but if new enthusiasts, new hobbyists come to Battletech, or we can get a big game, I can just be like, here's a lance for you, here's a lance for you, lance for you, ready to go. I wanted to pick up some extra bases, extra acrylic bases that tie in with the terrain And again, we looked at this in part 2. I pushed that up to the playlist, Battletech Project 2021. Tying into this board in the back, I like making battlefield effects. The idea that if I've got a mech here, you've got a mech there. If you shoot at me, whether you hit or not, I like to kind of put out smoke effects, laser burns, autocannon, craters, because we're going through this trouble of having amazing terrain, having amazing mechs, having a board. Having that 3D effect of damage adds to the immersion. It also makes it interesting at the end of the game when you step back and you look and you say, okay, we had a great time of playing Battletech. You can see the areas of the board where the battle damage happens. So we just leave it in place. It has no in-game effect. It doesn't obscure sight, doesn't lead to cover. It's just completely window dressing eye candy. But it's kind of neat to see, like, hey, we fought all the way over there. Nothing happened here, but then there was something over here because your locust ran over there and I just tried to blast it all along. It kind of tells the narrative. So I wanted to pick up 2 extra packs of bases. So this way I could model in directly on here, painted city effect. Again, it doesn't have a lip, so the profile is perfect. And then have some smoke effects, have some laser burns. So literally we can have a set of 20 of these. So when I shoot at your Battle Master and I do some damage, if I shoot with lasers, we'll put one of those down next to it. If I shoot at you and we have some LRMs, we'll put down some smoke effects. I also wanted to make some objective counters, just number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and some smoking boots counters. These are kind of mech pieces, broken mechs, recasted mechs. It's literally, I have a pair of Battlemaster legs that are blown up. So when the ammo blows up or the thing gets cored out and your mech gets removed, I like to put rubble pieces of mechs and damaged pieces. If your arm gets blown off, put a cast arm down there. I wanted to have enough. So we've got 40 to work with. If I do, 20 or 30 battlefield effects, then maybe 5 or 10 smoking boot effects, that's going to tie in nicely. And it was really neat to just be able to go on and say, like, 20 pack, take care of all my basings. So that's the basing aspect. If you take anything from this hobby video, Battletech basing, whatever you're starting with your mechs, definitely pick up 2 or 3 extra packs. It's just good to have. It's like sleeving cards for your board games. Whatever you think you need, you're going to need a couple of more packs, and it's good to have a few in reserve. And it's good when you're starting a project to have everything match up. So we've got the board, we've got the terrain, we've got the hexes. Now we're just going to start building and modeling. And then once I have these built and some of the start of the effects, then we'll jump into the mechs. Because, like I said, I wanted to do 4 lances, well, maybe 3, maybe 4 lances of mechs that are fun to play. I mean, all mechs are fun to play, but just a mix and match grab bag of lances that we can create, so we can just bring in a lot of players on the game, or I can bring those lances and kind of not so much have a whack, WAAC, win at all cost lance, but just a quirky lance, a fun lance, just something where you're like, so it's going to have just on those words, it's going to have a Marauder and it's going to have a Warhammer. That's just an absolute given. And we'll have some technology fun light mechs. But the idea being, hey, that's a cool lance. I'd like to fight against that lance. That's the inspiration. That's going to be the criteria. And we've got the bases ready to go. I have poor impulse control. I'm limiting myself to 20 mechs, but I kind of know better. I know myself. So if this gets crazy and we need to jump into some more, again, I am completely covered.